Hey there. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite methods of multiplication that I wish was around or I was taught it when I was a kid. So if you have a multi-digit multiplication problem, so let's take 365 times 24. This could be really challenging if you do it the kind of traditional method of that. Now we could do distributive property and break it apart, but the box method really helps us be able to use distributive property to solve this multiplication problem. So I take the first number, the first factor in our multiplication problem, and I make that many columns across in my box. So what I mean is I have three numbers, so I make three columns across. And then my other factor is 2-digit, so that's what I am going to make for my rows. So I need 2 rows if I have 2 numbers. And then I take each one of these and apply it to one of the spots. So this 3 here represents 300. So I'm going to write 300 there. My next 6 here represents 60. So 60 is going to take that spot. And lastly, 5. So I'm just breaking up each of these place value spots and breaking it up to make it easier to use distributive property to solve this multiplication problem. Then here I'm going to break up the 24 into that 2 represents 20 and this 4 represents 4. And now I'm going to complete this box using multiplication. So I take this box right here. We're looking to solve the product of 300 times 20. Well, we know the little zeros rule, or really, we take off the zeros and we put them back on at the end. So 3 times 2 is 6, and we put those zeros back on. So I took off 3 zeros, so I have to put 3 back on, so it's 6,000. Then I come over here, and the multiplication problem I'm working with is 60 times 20. So again, we take off the 0. I'm focusing on 6 times 2, which is 12. And then I took off 2 zeros, so I'm going to put those back on. And lastly, we're working here with 5 times 20, or 5 times 2, which I know 5 times 2 is 10. And then I have to put that 0 back on. So now I'm done with this row. And so now I'm focusing on the 4 for my multiplication. All right, so now for this box, we're focusing on 300 times 4, which I know we can just focus on 3 times 4 is 12. Put those 2 zeros back on. Over here, we are working on 60 times 4, which is 24. Put the 0 back on. And over here, we're focusing on 5 times 4, which I know I can put 4 fingers up and count 5 5s on each finger. So 5, 10, 15, 20. And now I've done all the multiplication I need to do. And now I am going to just add each of these products up to get what this original problem was. So 365 times 24. Whatever we get from the sum of all these products will be our product. So the most challenging part here is going to be just making sure I line them up with the correct place value spot. Did that one, that one, that one. And then I'm going to combine these two. So 120. And then 0. 2, 4, 6, 7. 6, 7, 8. So my product, if we did it correctly, is 8,760. All right, so for this one, let's try another one. So for this one, again, we're doing a 3 by 2 box. So, and it really doesn't matter however you want to make it. I always just make these my first number, my columns, and the 2 digits, my rows. So here again, I want you to pause the video and try to see if you can accurately place all the place value spots on the side. So go ahead and work with a partner or work on your own to try to do that. All right, so hopefully you were able to get that, but if you are stuck, I just take each place value spot at a time. So that's equal to 100. This is equal to 20. And this is equal to 5. Over here on the side, this is going to be equal to 40. And this is going to be equal to 2. So go ahead and pause the video and see if you can figure out what products go inside of each of these boxes. All right, we're back to go through it. So 100 times 40, I know that zeros roll. 1 times 4 is 4. Put all 3 zeros I took off back on. Coming over here to 20 times 40, which we're focusing on just 2 times 4 is 8. Put the 2 zeros back on. Over here, we're focusing on the 5 times 40, or in our case, 5 times 4, which is 20. Put the 0 back on. Right here, we're focusing on the 100 times 2, which I know is 200. 20 times 2, which 2 times 2 is 4. Put the 0 back on. And 5 times 2 for right here is 10. And now I need to line them up and just do basic addition. Do that one, that one, that one, that one. And 40 plus 10 I know is 50. 8 plus 2 more is 10. Plus 2 more is 12. And 4 plus 1 more is 5. So my product should be 5,250. All right, so it's time for you to go ahead and work on one of these on your own. So go ahead and see if you can get these correctly placed and work through the entire problem on your own. Work with a buddy if you need to, but go ahead and flash your work to Hayden and Owen today. Good luck, guys.